So breaking news, finally it was about to happen and it has happened. Ben Stokes is now officially England's new test captain. He takes over the reins after Joe Root stepped down following England's series loss against the West Indies. It was a bad last year for Joe Root in particular, having been hammered 1-3 in India, as well as losing on the cusp of losing a series yet again to India at home for the first time in 14 years. Then the Ashes. I mean, what can we say? 0-4. Joe Root not contributing a century there as well, and then England's
Debacle one after the other.
Yep, and
But
England's
under Joe Root, they won only a single test out of their last 17 tests,
Yep.
and they haven't even won one series out of their last 5.
Yep.
So definitely, they are currently bottom of the World Test Championship table
and out of contention.
Out of contention, there's no way they are going to make it.
Yes.
And considering that the final is always in England, the last one was also in England, and they still couldn't qualify. And for a team, that over the years used to talk about how much they adore Test cricket, how much Test cricket is followed in their country, for the kind of performances they had in the past few years, I think so. This was always on the cards.
Yeah. So see, when Root stepped down, there were only very few contenders for the England Test captaincy. There was Ben Stokes, there was Josh Butler, there was James Anderson, there was Stuart Broad. But at the end of the day, it had to boil down to Stokes because Butler not yet proven himself in Test cricket. On top of that, Anderson and Broad also did not get that much of success. I mean, they are all only for the short term.
Well, they also needed quite a few changes in that side because of certain sureties that you get as a player. Who were the sure shot players that you think of were part of the England setup? You knew Josh Butler sometimes is playing, sometimes he's out of the side as well. So that kept happening. Ben Stokes was one guy we knew is gonna be. He's been a valuable part of their side for the longest time.
Yep.
And so for a number of years, he's been their best player overall.
Yep. 2019, the summer of Stokes.
The all-rounder has always been in the news, always makes the headlines. So it was only logical to appoint somebody who would be there in that side for sure, plays all the 3 formats, knows the England setup well enough now, and I think there was no other option left.
And Stokes' captaincy, he's proven that he can be a great man manager of players. I mean, just rewind to 2021 when the England first start team, the whole team tested positive. Stokes had to lead a basically B or C team in that sense, but they managed to whitewash Pakistan 3-0 in an ODI series. And Stokes showed that he can be captaincy material also. But if you have to look at Butler, I mean, a stat runner, 108 runs in the Ashes, 499 runs already in the IPL. So,
that's true. So Ashes was a debacle. I think so. They couldn't look past it.
Yep.
And then when you lose the series in West Indies, also everybody pointed out that
only one series within 54 years, by the way.
There was no way. I think this is the worst run England have ever had in Test cricket since its inception.
I think you have to look back to 1992-1993 when they lost 5 consecutive Test series. They had lost a series in Australia, they had lost in India, and as well as in Sri Lanka.
So similar now.
Yes, very
But I
similar.
think the 17 Test, the fact that they've only won one out of their last 17 Tests played a huge role, and I think so. Joe Root knew when he lost that West Indies series that he couldn't continue because every time he talked about before the series he had talked about that no, I want to continue in this role. But how long can you continue when there are no results at all? So
but as a batsman, Root was simply sublime and 1,710 runs in 2021.
But as captain, when you don't even know who, I think that there are like 3 or 4 players in England side currently that you can think that are sure shot players that are going to be in the 11. Otherwise, they are looking at a lot of new players.
One thing is for sure, Ben Stokes inherits a batting lineup where extras is the 3rd highest scorer in 2021 calendar year. So
Joe Root, Rory Burns, and then extras.
So yes, the first assignment that Ben Stokes will be having is the England versus New Zealand Test series that is part of the ICC World Test Championship. Remember, last year it was not part of the ICC World Test Championship cycle. This time it is. It is starting on June 2nd in Lords. So that will be Ben Stokes' first major assignment. But apart from that, he
just checking on what he has said. He said that I am honored to be given the chance to lead this England Test team. This is a real privilege and I'm excited about getting started this summer. And he also said that he wants to thank Joe Root for everything that he did.
Rakesh is asking, has Anderson retired?
No. James Anderson is not yet retired.
But I'm not sure whether he's going to be in the side. I think that a lot will depend on whether Ben Stokes wants him in the side because Rob Key has now handed over the reins. The new managing director of ECB, Rob Key, who by the way recommended Ben Stokes' name first of all.
And
from there,
basically Stokes has made it clear that he does want Anderson and Broad back in the way. I mean, come on. over 1,000 test wickets, having played for close to 2 decades, you would want that kind of experience in the team. And Anderson's only getting better with age. I mean, he was England's best bowler.
No,
in-
but I also think that they need to start looking past their old the oldies in terms
That
of
is what
Stuart
Michael
Broad,
won.
James Anderson.
Yep.
Because we have seen that even though they are there, it's not really helping their side.
Yep.
And including the batsmen, I think so they need a lot of new faces, people who are not carrying any baggage at all after what has happened. So that was the update for you guys.
Yes, so it's a new era for England. We had Rob Key as the new managing director. We now have Ben Stokes as the new test captain. Pretty soon there's going to be a new test coach. Refer to our video that we have done
Yes.
on Sports Today. Press the
A
like, comment.
certain IPL team.
And a certain Indian legend, if I may have to say.
In a way,
Yes,
I agree.
yes.
Anyway, thank you for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching.